Hi everybody, my name is Edel and I'm in a very quiet library here in Abbeleg's today. I hope you're all keeping well. We've done flower arranging in a couple of our libraries over the last year. If it's something you're interested in, maybe keep an eye out in the future for any events that we've gone on. At the moment, you do have free access to universalclass.com as part of your library membership. On that, there's a range of courses, including some hobby courses like flower arranging and art and things like that. So it's definitely worth checking out. And we have lots of details on that on our Facebook page. For today, we're going to just talk about putting together an arrangement like this. This one I've done there now. And also just talk about preparation of your flowers when you come home, your fresh flowers when you bring them home, that they will last that bit longer if they get a bit of TLC at the start. So that's that. So today you're going to need scissors, an oasis, some greenery and some flowers. But we'll go through each of them individually. So starting with the oasis. Now I know it's going to be slim pickings at the moment. It's whatever you can get your hands on as regards oasis. So you normally buy them in a block, you cut them down to size, and you can place them either in your own glass container that you want to use, or one like this that I've used, green one here. And you just cut them to size and tape them on with this floral tape. Now likewise, you can buy them for different shapes and different types of ones. This one now will be one you could use maybe to make a wreath for your front door, that type of thing. So they do come in different shapes and sizes and that. So that's that. Then there's the greenery. I haven't bought any greenery for today. I picked greenery in my garden and my local area yesterday. I just went for different things that I thought looked nice together, maybe different textures, different leaves, different colours and that. So that's what I went for. I picked a good vase of it yesterday. And in long sections like this, and it can be cut to size then, so I picked a good vase of that yesterday. The trick is you can use your own greenery if you do it the day before, because if you pick it the day before and you give it the night to harden up, the stems will harden, they'll be a lot firmer, and it will stand up in your arrangement. If you pick greenery and use it straight away, it won't last and it'll droop. So you do need to pick it the day before if you're not buying your greenery. Same with flowers. Now I did buy some flowers this morning. I went into the supermarket and I literally spent €10. I divided them out evenly and I got 3 arrangements out of those flowers. So you don't need to spend a lot of money. For one like this, as I say, this was it. Then this was a third of the flowers. So I had a rose. I have 2 gerberas. I have some chrysanthemums and carnations then in it, along with my greenery. And that's what I ended up with then. So that's kind of what we're going for. So, with your preparation then, you have your greenery picked the day before. You give it the day the overnight to harden up in water. My flowers then, when I bring home my flowers, I would always strip away all the greenery from the stem. The reason being that if you're putting them in a vase, you don't want anything below the water level, because that's going to cause bacteria in the water and your flowers won't last as long. So I'd strip away all the greenery from it. Likewise, when you're placing your, when you have them in water and you're doing your arrangement, you want the water getting to the flower for it to last as long as possible. And you're losing water as you go along. You're only maintaining the leaves that you don't really want. It's the flowers you want to try and maintain for as long as possible. So I'd always strip away any greenery. With the likes of roses, again, I would strip away all my greenery. They may become airlocked if they're out of water for a while before you get them home or get them into water. So what I would always do with those is I would get a cup of boiling water. I put maybe the last inch of them in the cup of boiling water, leave it for 10 to 20 seconds. You'll see the water bubbling in the cup. And then I would take it out, I would cut off the part that was in the boiling water and I put it into cold water. And it should give it a boost. If there's any air blockages in it, it should release them and I get the water circulating in it again. When I say cut them at an angle, the reason you always cut them at an angle like this, you have that sharp kind of angle on it, as you can see there, is because number one, you're creating the largest possible surface area for the flower to absorb water. Secondly, if you had that in a container or a jug or anything, and it's standing flush in it, and or if it's standing up straight in it, the bottom of it could be flush with the container, and it might prevent it from absorbing water. So when you have the angle on it, it's always going to be able to absorb water in it. So that's that. With the likes of, we'll say, gerberas, you'll always see these if you get them in arrangement yourself at home. They're always the first to droop. The stems are very soft on them. So what I would do with those is, you'll have your wire. You can buy it in little packets like this. I have wire here. You just sit it in under the head of the flower and just wrap it around the stem. And that'll give it stability. Then I've done that one already. So it'll give it a bit of stability in your arrangement then, that it won't droop, and it's not damaging the flower at all. Okay. With the likes of this chrysanthem, you're not going to use, well, I'm not going to use, it'll be different in a container, but in an arrangement, you're not going to use a head that big as one piece. So you'll be cutting it down to size. So you can be cutting off these little bits here if you want. It depends on the arrangement. On the likes of the one we're doing, I'm going to be cutting off those little pieces, and I'm going to be using them all separately. So, you know, you're using, you have 5 or 6 little stems there off that as you go along. Okay, and the same with the carnations. You're not going to be using the big long stems. By cutting them down to size then, you're creating more stems then to use. The smaller ones you may use, you'll see there along the bottom of the arrangement there, you might use some smaller ones that you cut off. Alright. Now, so then you have your oasis. So say you're taping that onto your little container, your little tray I have here. Now, with that, you get your basin of water. You would just turn it upside down and just drop it into the water. Don't push it down or force it down, because it'll just get blocked with air. Just leave it upside down, and it'll absorb the water itself. And leave it a couple of minutes, and you'll see it. Now I've got one done already, and you'll just see the water. You'll see it absorbing the water, and you'll know by it it's wet through once you leave it a couple of minutes. So then you're going to create your shape. Now, if you wanted something to have maybe on your hall table, you might want something that's quite tall but narrow and comes down maybe in a triangular shape, but flat at the back, that it would sit against a wall. That will be the shape you're going for. Sometimes you might want something maybe for the centre of your table that might be wider in the centre and might narrow off at the sides. Sometimes you might want something that's a posy shape, that's the same all the way around. Depends on what you're using it for. Today, as I say, this is what we're going for. Now, it's kind of a circular shape all the way around. It's the same shape all the way around, but there is a front to it. So that there is the focal flowers at the front. So it's whatever arrangement you're going for yourself, or whatever you want to do. So I have my oasis. I have it placed in water, and it has absorbed the water. So now I'm going to start putting my flowers, my greenery in first. So my greenery is going to create the basis and shape and structure of my arrangement, and the flowers are added in then afterwards. So I'm going to create my shape. So I'm going to create my height first. So this is kind of the maximum height that I'm going to be going for in my arrangement. And then I'm going to create my width. So this is the maximum, that's too big now, sorry. This is the maximum width that I'm going to be going for with my arrangement. Okay, so I'm going to keep it here, do this wide and this height. Now it's going to come up gradually, kind of like a Christmas tree. It's going to be stepped all the way down, all the way around. That's kind of what you're going for, that textured look. I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to create the width. Now, so that's the basis of my arrangement. So I'm going to fill in this now all the way around to create an even shape using my greenery. Now, so the longer bits you can cut to size. I've kind of cut them into 3 sections. You can cut them as you go along. I'm just going to show you now. So if it's a case that it's something that you want to be able to leave, you want to be able to see from all sides, it's important that you keep rotating it as you're putting your flowers into it. At least then you can see if you're leaving any areas, if you're neglecting any areas on it. So I'm going to just keep turning this. And just keep rotating it and filling in. So you see when you look at it if it's even. So you can keep rotating and keep filling it in. And as you're going along, you'll see it's starting to cover your oasis. And it's starting to gradually layer as well. So I'm going to keep rotating it and keep filling it in. And every so often you can stop and adjust it and just make sure that you're happy enough with the shape of it. All right. Now, so I can just see my shape is coming along there. Now I'm missing a little bit here, so I need to fill in here. So I'm happy enough with the shape of that. Now, so you can see it's kind of textured and it's coming down at an angle now. It's hard to see on the camera now. So what I'm going to do then is I am going to start putting in my flowers. So my centerpiece is going to be my rose. So I have that here, it's prepared and everything, so it's cut down. Now if you're cutting them down, you don't have to cut big chunks off. You can gradually ease down into it to make sure you don't go too short. So I'm putting my rose in the center. Yeah. And I'm going to put my 2 gerbils behind it at equal distance. You can kind of see now, it depends on, no 2 pieces are going to be identical. But you'll see on those 2 pieces there, the gerbils are here and here, and they're behind the rose at varying heights. So kind of going to go for something similar to that. I'm going to cut it off that one. I have those wired and everything already as I was showing you there. Now, so there they are. So then I'm going to fill in with the likes of my chrysanthemums and my carnations. You can keep an eye on it as you go, so you're keeping your shape. So if you have the preparation done on your your greenery, your greenery will probably outlive some of your flowers. So I find then I can pluck some of the flowers that have kind of wilted. I can pluck those and replace them with 1 or 2 fresh flowers just to keep the arrangement a bit longer. Normally if the greenery is okay. So I would keep topping up the greenery. I could keep topping up the arrangement, with water every couple of days. Likewise, if you have your flowers in a vase, I'd be putting fresh, clean water in every day or so to keep from any bacteria from growing up from forming in your container. Let's see there. Now, there's my rose in the centre. And you kind of know yourself when you have enough in it, you can keep going. Now you'll see the shape there is still the same, so it's the same on both, the same width on both sides. And there's the top of it then. And as I say, here's the one I had done already. Now that oasis, you'll see that tub is a little bit deeper. It's a little bit bigger. And this one is only a smaller tub. So it's whatever you can manage to get your hands on. And so there's no right or wrong, it's whatever you think looks right. Once you have the groundwork done with the flowers and you have them trimmed and prepared right, and you have your greenery trimmed and prepared right, you can't go wrong really with it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to see some of your arrangements. If you put something together, I'd love to see it in the comments. Likewise, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon. And I hope you all stay safe and stay home, and we'll see you shortly. Take care, bye.